Then we will see the memory map in little more detail. Memory map of Cortex M3. Right. So Cortex M3 is having fixed memory map with 4 GB memory location, right? And it is divided like this. The first 0.5 GB, it is known as code memory. Next 0.5 GB, it is known as SRAM area. Next 0.5 GB, it is peripherals area, right? And the last 1 GB, it is for external RAM. Right? Then the next, after external RAM, it is continuing. 1 GB is for external device, right? Then remaining portion will be for system level memory region, right? So code memory, SRAM, peripherals, external RAM, external device, and system level memory region, right? And here system level memory region will be having, and here itself we can see in the peripherals region, you can see there is something known as bit band region, 1 MB bit band region, 32 MB bit band alias. What is meant by this we will see. So this is there in peripherals, right? Similarly, the same thing is there in SRAM area also. It is there in peripherals and in SRAM area also. In the system memory region, you can see private peripheral bus is there. Private peripheral bus, external and internal is there. Private peripheral bus, internal is used for transferring data from these peripherals. What are these? NVIC means what? What is NVIC? Instead vector interrupt controller. FPB means, what is FPB? Flash patch and breakpoint units. Flash patch and breakpoint. Then DWT means data watch point and trace. ITM means instrumentation trace macro cell. So these are sending its data through private peripheral bus. It is coming in this area. And the other private peripheral bus external, it is coming. It is used for transferring data of this ETM embedded trace macro cell and TPIU trace point interface unit. Right. And ROM. And after that, you are having certain vendor specific area that can only be accessed by the vendor or the manufacturer. So all the serial numbers and the other manufacturing thing details will be written here. It is not accessible to the user. So this is basically the memory map of Cortex M3. So where can the program code be written? Where can you write the program? Program can be written in these three locations, which are the code memory, SRAM or external RAM. These three locations: code memory, SRAM, external RAM. Right. But why code memory is used for storing the instruction? I told you can write in any one of this region, but generally you will be using code memory region. Why? Is there any reason for that? If you are writing the program in code memory, your data will be in SRAM. So parallelly, you can fetch instruction as well as data through two separate buses. Which are that separate buses? Any idea? Code memory. From code memory, you can take the instruction. From SRAM, you can take the data through two separate buses simultaneously. Which are those buses known as?
Data bus and
No,
programming bus.
two separate names we have given for that. Two separate names. Are you remembering? Two separate names were there for both the buses. It is known as I code and decode bus. I code and decode. So using that, you can parallelly access both instruction as well as data. Suggested to use code memory for storing the program. But if you are writing the code, if we are writing the data in SRAM area, iCode cannot be used. Right? So that is why it is told like this: the program should be written in code memory so that both the data and instruction fetches will be on two separate buses. Then what is the use of SRAM? SRAM is used for as or the internal RAM. Right? And how will you access this SRAM area? So iCode and decode memory it is used for accessing code memory. SRAM area is used for accessing. SRAM can be accessed by using system bus interface. Right, we have seen 3 bus interface, no? System bus interface, iCode, decode, then private peripheral bus interface. So in that system bus interface, it is used for accessing the SRAM. Right? Then here you can see 32 MB bit band alias is there. 1 MB bit band region is there. What do you mean by that? That we will see in detail, but here one small introduction we will give. So bit band region means, or I will go to that slide, then we will come back. So this is known as a bit band operation. So first 1 MB in the SRAM region, it is known as bit band region. Similarly, first 1 MB in the peripheral region is also known as bit band region, and 32 MB it is known as bit band alias. Right. So what do you mean by bit band region and bit band alias? So bit band alias and bit band region means, say for example, this is one memory location known as 2000. This is another location 20004. This is another location 2008. So 3 locations I have used. Right. So here, how will you write to this location? Generally, how will you write, or how will you set a bit available here? So let us take, you need to set this bit 220010. So how will you set this bit?
We will take that memory address and we are conditioned with 1.
So what you need to do? First of all, you need to read the register content. Right, which register content? 200. You need to read the register content. Then what you should do? After reading, you will read the register content. You need to modify the content by ANDing or ORing or whatever it is. Then you need to write back. So how many operations will be done generally? 3 operations. Read, modify, write back. Right? So 3 operations are required for doing this. And what is the disadvantage of doing this kind of operation? It is not atomic in nature. It is not atomic in nature. What do you mean by atomic operation? It cannot be interrupted in between. It will be a single cycle operation. Cannot be interrupted in between. Right. So it is not an atomic operation. So how will you do that? How can you make it atomic? For that, you are using this bit band region and bit band alias. Right? And how will you do that? So by doing bit band operation, you are making the read, write, modify, write operation atomic. How you are making means each bit, say the first bit, say in 2000, what will be this bit known as? It will be 0th bit of this location. Right. So if you want to access this location, there will be an alias location in the bit band alias region. Right. You are having bit band region. This is bit band region, and you are having another region known as bit band alias. Right. So each bit of bit band region will have a corresponding alias memory region. Right. So if you want to write something to this bit, you can write into this address. If you want to write something to this bit, you can write to this location. Right. So what is the advantage? No need of reading a content, modify the content and writing it back. Directly you can write into a corresponding location. Right. So if you want to write into this bit of 200, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to write fourth bit of 2000, where you should write? If you want to write into fourth bit of 200, where you should write? You can instead of reading this, modifying it and write back, you can directly write into this location. Right. So this is known as a bit band region. Bit band regions, each bit is mapped onto corresponding address in bit band areas. So this will be used when you are processing some kind of interrupts, because interrupt will be setting some flag, and if you want to check whether that flag is set or not, you can use this area. That is the basic use of this, because their performance should be given more importance. So if some interrupt is there, you will be setting, and instead of reading, modifying and writing it back, directly you can read from the corresponding bitband areas. So you are making it atomic in nature. Read instead of read, modify, write, you are making this operation atomic in nature. So it will be something like this. So for example, to set bit 2 in the word address this location, what you will do? First, it is showing without bit band. So first you will read this location, you will set that bit, then you will write back. So read, modify, write. So which are the corresponding assembly instruction? LDR R0 equal to 0x200. Then from here you are reading to R1, right? Then using OR operation you are modifying R1. Finally you are writing back to R0. You are storing it back to R0. So at least 4 operations are required. Excluding this, 3 operations are required. But if you are using bit banding, no need of this 3. Directly you can write 1 to this location. Right, you are writing 1 to this location. How will you write 1? You are moving 1 to R1, R1 to R0. Right. So this is a difference between without bit band and with bit band in the case of write. Then in the case of read, how it will be happening? You are reading from this location, you are shifting bit 2 to LSB and mask the other bits, because if you want to read one bit alone, all the other bits should be masked out. Right, all the other bits should be masked out. But in the case of with bit banding operation, what you are doing? Directly you can read from this location. Right, LDR R1, R0. Directly you can load from that memory location. So this is a operation how read operation is done, how read is done.
Sir, in this alias registers, I mean bitband registers, only one bit will be in use, sir. The other will not be used ever.
Which one, bitband alias or in bitband region? Which one you are telling?
In alias.
Alias only one bit will be used. You can see here.
Okay,
Two
the
bits
other
here.
bits will never be used for any
Other
purpose.
bits will not be used.
Okay.
But if you want to directly write in the location, you can write. You can use it for other program.
Okay, if you are using for other program and accidentally we are changing it here, so will that reflect or
It will change. It will change. It will affect it. So that you should take care of that.
okay?
If you are writing something here, the 0th, if you say, let us take you are writing something in 200, what is that? 222,000. Then this bit will be changing. That you should keep in mind. Right. So when you are using that area, you should keep this in mind. So that is about the bitband region. So here you are making read, modify, write operation as atomic, right? And this bit banding applies only to the data, not to the instruction fetches. Then there is another known as bit banging. It is used for multiple Boolean data in a single word. So this is known as bit band. This is known as a bit band operation. I have written it in the same line. Then next 0.5 GB memory location, it is used for on-chip peripherals, right? And the important thing is that you cannot store program here. Why? Because it is the special function registers used by the peripherals, right? And again here also you are having the bit band support. Then 1 GB of external RAM and external devices. Here also program execution is not allowed. You can write the program only in code memory, SRAM area, and one more area, which was that external RAM area. Hello? In other locations, you are not supposed to write the program. And if you are trying to write also, it won't happen. Then the next 0.5 GB, it is used for system level components. Whatever we have seen before, it is present there. The vendor specific area, right? Vendor specific area, it is accessed again by the system bus, right? And the private peripheral bus, it is used for accessing the private peripheral bus area.